Luke, the 6th chapter, we run into a story that is so beautiful to me. It's about a time when Jesus went into a synagogue and there was a man in the synagogue whose hand had withered over time. And that word withered in the Greek there means a word called desiccate, which means to dry up like a leaf in autumn. And the Bible says that it was his right hand that was withered. And Luke writes this to show us that it was the man's dominant hand that was withered. The only reason that's significant is because if his dominant hand had become withered, that means he had to learn how to live life with his left hand. He had to learn how to live life with an abnormal condition, something that was not normal, something that was not natural for him to do. And for a lot of us, we have learned to live with things we should have never learned to live with. We have learned to live with depression. We have learned to live with dysfunctions in our home. And God never intended for us to live with those things. And as Jesus sees that man with that withered right hand in the back, with shame, with condemnation, with disgust about his condition, hiding his condition from those that are around because it's too nasty to expose, he says to the man, "Stand up." You see, whenever Jesus heals us, whenever Jesus is trying to change us, he does it from the inside out. He's healing us from things that we didn't even know we needed to be healed from. He never wants to deal with the outside before he deals with the inside. And so when he tells the man to stand up, he's dealing with the shame that that man feels. He's dealing with the disgust that that man feels with his condition. This man had never been in a place where he felt confident enough to stand in a room of people who pretended that they were perfect. So Jesus says, stand up, but Jesus doesn't just stop there. He says, come to the middle. He invited him in somewhere. Since this man's condition, he had never been invited in. He had never been brought into a place where he was accepted, where he was welcome. And so Jesus healed him from rejection at that moment. He healed him from shame. He healed him from rejection. And now he had brought him in because Jesus is healing him from the inside out. And the Bible says when he gets to Jesus, Jesus has one more instruction for him. And that instruction simply is to stretch. To stretch means to reach your limit and then go beyond it. I want you to do all you can do and then rely on my power to take you to the extra mile. I want you to stretch. And the Bible says, as that man is walking to Jesus, he's staring eerily at Jesus and he's no longer looking at his hand. Because when God is healing us, he's taking our eyes off of our condition and he's putting it on him. And the Bible says, as that man stretches forth his hand was renewed just like the other. He was healed and he didn't even know he was being healed. When God heals us from things that we learn to live with, he's doing it from the inside out, and he's doing it even when we don't think he's doing it. Once we walk towards him, once we set our eyes on him, we're being changed and we don't know we're being changed. And so if you haven't guessed it, my title today is Help. I'm healing from the things I learned